All right, are you thinking about moving here to Northern Virginia? Maybe you're getting a job transfer and you're looking to purchase a house and relocate here. Well, this video, I'm gonna tell you 10 things that you need to know before you move here to Northern Virginia. My name is Chris Colgan. I am a real estate agent here based in Northern Virginia. Let's get into number one. What are the areas and exactly where is Northern Virginia? Where you have Arlington and Alexandria, they are going to be the most closest places next to DC, but keep in mind, they can definitely get expensive. Arlington is going to be the one where most of the jobs are going to be located, like Nestle, Boeing, the new Amazon headquarters, and of course the Pentagon and National Airport. And then you have Fairfax County, which is the biggest county in all of Virginia. That is where places like Tyson's Corner, Herndon, Centerville, Reston, a lot of areas where a lot of the jobs are. And then you have Loudoun County, which is the home of the internet. And that's for places like Ashburn, Sterling, other big cities that you may have heard of, or you might be getting a job transfer. And then you have Prince William County, where I am right now. And that's where a lot of people live who might commute over into DC or Arlington and Alexandria. But that is Northern Virginia in a nutshell. But let's keep talking about my 10 things you need to know about before you make a move here to Northern Virginia. All right, so number two, what you're probably gonna wanna know about is housing and housing options, right? So you're talking Arlington and Alexandria, they are going to be a lot more expensive because they're super close to DC. That will be a lot more of townhome or maybe condo style living, and even some high-rise condos as well. Now, the average sales price in Arlington is around $800,000, and then in Alexandria, it's around $700,000. When you get over to Fairfax, that also has a high average sales price of around $900,000, but you can get a lot of different housing, whether it's condos, to townhomes, to single families, and you can get brand new places as well. We saw a lot over in Fairfax, really huge area, all kinds of different places to live. When you get over to Loudoun County, it gets a little bit cheaper, but not too much cheaper, with an average sales price of around $750,000. But that's a lot of brand new housing. Most things in there have been built around the early 2000s to 2010, to even tons of new construction being built right now. And then when you get over to Prince William County, where I'm at, average sales price of around $550,000, so it's a lot more affordable, but you don't have things like the metro out here, and the only mass transportation to get into DC is the VRE. But of course, there is tons of condo options, townhomes, single family homes, 55 plus communities, so pretty much anything and everything that you want. Now, one thing I will tell you, if you're looking more for like a community feel of like the golf courses, the pools, tot lots, all that, Prince William and Loudoun are gonna have a lot more in that. But that is definitely the second thing that you should know about living here in Northern Virginia. If you're thinking about moving here, definitely shoot me a text at the number below. But just keep talking about my favorite place, Northern Virginia. All right, so the third thing I want to be talking about, especially if you're going to be moving here, this area is very transient. Hardly anybody is actually from Northern Virginia. I was actually born here, but not a lot of people are. You always have people moving in and out all the time, even more so as you get closer into DC, around the embassies and all that as well. The next thing I want to talk about, number 4, is going to be public transportation. That's probably the most common question I get from out-of-town buyers. There is not really a big mass public transportation that goes out to the suburbs. Now, we do have the metro system that goes out towards Ashburn, Virginia, up to Dallas Airport, Herndon, Reston, all that as well. It only goes into Arlington, Alexandria, and the Fairfax area, but keep in mind that can be a long ride if you're going into DC. We also do have the VRE commuter train. There's all kinds of stations that go from Fredericksburg, Virginia, out here to Gainesville, Haymarket, Bristow, Manassas area as well. So that's also an option, but not a lot of huge mass public transportation options. Most people just drive right into work, and also with so many people working flex as well. Now, the biggest thing, and probably why you're watching this video, is going to be the job market. The job market here is absolutely phenomenal. Of course, you have the federal government, we have all these data centers, then you have companies like Amazon Web Services, like Boeing, Nestle, the Pentagon, and then of course into DC with all the political jobs. So the job market here is absolutely insane. I want to say like 4 or 5 of the top highest medium incomes are actually here in Northern Virginia. But I want to keep going over my list of everything that you need to know before you move here into Northern Virginia. All right, right, number 6, we got to talk about entertainment or things to do. Now, of course, you have Washington, D.C., and we have the big 4 sports teams, but there's also all kinds of concert venues here, like Jiffy Lube Live, to Wolf Trap, to the Patriot Center. I guess it's called the Capital One Center now, but there's also so many vineyards, wineries, breweries, all kinds of different things to do. Virginia kind of gets a bad rap, but you also have New York City within a 5-hour drive to Virginia Beach within a 3-hour drive. So definitely plenty to do. The next thing I want to talk about is the school system. Most of the schools here are actually very highly rated. You can look up a lot of the ratings on websites like niche.com, but one of the things that I absolutely love are most of these neighborhoods are brand new. And back in the day when they would build them, they would donate land to build brand new schools. So you have a ton of new elementary, middle schools, new high schools. Most of the schools as well have specialized programs, so definitely keep that in mind. But for sure, do your research. If you're thinking about moving here, the boundaries change all the time. So I definitely would call the school system and say, I just want to make sure my kids won't be going to this school this year, and then the next year they go to a brand new high school and got to meet all new kids. So definitely keep that in mind. But let's keep talking a little bit more about Northern Virginia. I can finish up this list for you guys. Let's talk about number 8, which is going to be home buying. Northern Virginia has about an 80% home ownership rate, so a lot of people own homes in here. Definitely people rent as well, but keep in mind rental prices can be expensive. So what type of loans do people do? The most common I see is, of course, a conventional loan where you're talking 5, 10 to 20% down. But another common thing I see is VA loans, because we have so much military moving in and out here. So that would be 0% down, which is one of my favorite loan programs. And we work with those all the time. That's the type of loan that you're going to be using. The next one would be FHA loan, which is typically around 3.5%. Now keep in mind on those types of loans, the interest rate can be a little bit higher, and we can definitely connect you with somebody who can help you with that as well. Now we also do have a grant program through the state of Virginia called VHDA. That's 100% no money down, so we could also get you into that program as well. That's for first-time home buyers. Now it does have a cap on how much you can make in different areas, and that's something that I can also talk to you as well. So if you're thinking about buying a home, you can tell I obviously know the area and the different loan programs as well. The next thing I want to talk about is taxes here. Now, DC can get really expensive when you're talking about income taxes. It can go as high as 10%. Maryland and Virginia are about the same, but what I have seen are property taxes tend to be a little bit cheaper here in Northern Virginia. And then of course, Virginia, we do have a personal property tax as well based on vehicles and all that. But a lot of people here, when they move here, they're very shocked and tell me, you know what, the property taxes are a lot cheaper. I hear that a lot from people in Texas or maybe even in the Northeast. But I want to give you my last one and keep talking a little bit more about my favorite area, Northern Virginia. Last but not least, let's get to number 10. A question that you might be asking, especially if you're looking on websites like Zillow or Redfin, man, Northern Virginia is expensive. Well, one thing I can tell you is a lot of people are moving a lot further out. They're even going as far as West Virginia. The areas that I would recommend that we service as well would be Winchester, Virginia, with an average sales price of around $400,000, to also Front Royal and Linden, Virginia. They can get about 30 to 45 minutes away, a commute to get back to Northern Virginia. Other areas that are very popular would be Fredericksburg, Spotsylvania, or also Warrenton, Virginia. They're going to be a lot more affordable. Keep in mind though, I would only probably want to go really further out unless it was like some type of flex job situation, because the traffic going in and out of Northern Virginia, the further you get into DC, can get really bad. Another popular area is Culpeper, Virginia, which we've done videos on all these towns, and I will link them in below. But we've sold new homes out there for around $350,000. So there's all kinds of different budgets that we handle. Now, I hope you enjoyed my list of 10 things you need to know before you move here to Northern Virginia. As I told you, I am a real estate agent. I know all things here, Northern Virginia. My team and I would love to help you with your home buying or selling. So definitely shoot me a text at the number below and subscribe to my channel.